One of my subscribers requested that I do a color review of Benjamin Moore Mascarpone. It's a beautiful cream. I've used it many times over the years for different types of applications, such as kitchen cabinet paint colors, trims, main interior wall paint colors, and exterior. But what I want to do today is show you the undertones of Mascarpone, and I'm going to compare it with some other different cream paint colors to help give you an idea of where Mascarpone sits in the worlds of creams. Also, I'm going to compare it with 4 different types of neutrals to help give you an idea on the type of paint colors that pair and contrast really well with Mascarpone, assuming you have the right fixed elements and lighting to pull it off. And then towards the end of this video, I'm going to talk about why the type of fixed elements and lighting that you may have in your home could influence how Mascarpone could look like in your home. And for those of you that are not familiar with who I am, I'm an online color consultant. I help people all over North America select the perfect interior or exterior paint color without ever stepping a foot in their home. I highly encourage you to check out my website and see how I can help you. All right, let's talk about the undertones of Mascarpone. So the first thing I want to do is show you the undertones of Mascarpone by comparing it with some contrasting paint colors. One of them is called Forged Still by Sherwin-Williams. It's considered a charcoal gray. Watch this. When you compare Forged Still with Mascarpone, you're going to instantly see the yellow undertones. But Mascarpone isn't just a yellow, it's actually tinted. It's got a little bit of white to it. Watch what happens when I compare it with Benjamin Moore Chantilly Lace. Watch this. When you compare Benjamin Moore Chantilly Lace with Mascarpone, this is where you're going to see the creaminess of Mascarpone. But Mascarpone isn't as creamy as a lot of creams that are out there. So what I'm going to do next is compare it with 4 different types of cream paint colors to help give you an idea of where Mascarpone sits in the worlds of cream. Now I want you to see what makes Mascarpone so unique. So what I've done is I've selected 4 popular cream paint colors. The first one's going to be the warmest and the darkest, and the last one is going to be the lightest, but just be patient. There's something that I want you to know. So watch this. When you compare this with Benjamin Moore Natural Wicker, watch what happens when you compare Natural Wicker with Benjamin Moore Mascarpone. You're going to instantly see how Natural Wicker is that creamy ivory in comparison to Mascarpone, as Mascarpone is clean and Natural Wicker is muted. Now watch what happens when I compare this with Sherwin-Williams Aged White. Watch this. When you compare Sherwin-Williams Aged White, again, you're going to notice how Aged White is warmer than Mascarpone, and notice how Aged White is muted in comparison to Mascarpone, as Mascarpone is clean. Now watch what happens when I compare this with Benjamin Moore White Down. When you compare this with Benjamin Moore White Down, again, you're going to notice how White Down is just a little bit warmer, a little bit darker than Mascarpone, but again, White Down is muted and Mascarpone is clean. Now watch what happens when I compare this with a really light cream paint color by Sherwin-Williams called Creamy. Watch this. When you compare Sherwin-Williams Creamy with Benjamin Moore Mascarpone, again, you're going to notice how Creamy is warmer than Mascarpone and how Creamy is muted in comparison to Mascarpone. So what makes Mascarpone so unique is considered a light cream, and for the most part, is considered a clean cream, and that's really important. But like I always say, you've got to compare your paint colors with other colors that you may have in your home to determine, is it really going to be clean or is it going to be muted? And that's going to play a big role in your home. Next, I'm going to compare this with 4 different types of neutrals to help give you an idea of some paint colors that pair really well with Mascarpone. Now I'm going to show you 4 different families of neutrals that pair and contrast really well with Benjamin Moore Mascarpone. And remember, you've got to compare these paint colors with the fixed elements that you may have in your home before deciding if they're really going to be the right paint color for you. But the whole point of this is to help you understand the different types of colors of families of neutrals that pair really well with Mascarpone. So the first family of neutrals are beiges, such as Bleaker Beige. Watch this. When you compare Bleecker Beige with Mascarpone, you see the creaminess of Mascarpone. I love the contrast with Bleecker Beige. It's going to create that warm, cozy ambiance. Another family of neutrals that pair really well are taupes, such as smoky taupes. Taupes and creams, they're best friends. They're classic and often they're timeless. Watch what happens when you compare smoky taupe with Mascarpone. It's a beautiful pairing. The next neutrals that pair really well are warm grays, such as Revere Pewter. Watch this. When you compare Revere Pewter with Mascarpone, you see the creaminess of Revere Pewter, and you can notice a little bit of that green gray in Revere Pewter. And what that does, it brings the gray, but it invites and invokes some warmth in your space, so it doesn't feel so gray. And the last families of neutrals that pair really well are grays. And for those of you that don't know what a grays is, it's a mix of a beige and a little bit of a gray, but make sure that the grays are on the warm side, such as clay beige. Watch what happens when you compare clay beige with Mascarpone. It just creates that nice, light, warm, airy, inviting ambiance. So these are some excellent neutrals that work really well with Benjamin Moore Mascarpones. Warm grays, beiges, and taupes and grays all work really well with Benjamin Moore Mascarpone. Next, I'm going to talk about what you need to be mindful in terms of the fixed elements and the type of lighting that you may have in your home. So when it comes to lighting, Mascarpone excels in south-facing rooms, and it does a really good job in north-facing rooms. The only thing you need to be mindful of is that sometimes it might look a little bit yellow than you expected. So make your own sample or order one online and move it around in different parts of your home to see how Mascarpone could look like in your home. Now when it comes to fixed elements, Mascarpone pairs really well with warm earthy colors. For example, for those of you that are thinking about painting your kitchen cabinets Mascarpone, just be mindful on the type of kitchen countertops that you have. If you have black countertops, or maybe you have taupe countertops, or maybe you have cream kitchen countertops, well then chances are Mascarpone is going to be an excellent choice for your kitchen. Or another example, I'm just going to use beige carpets because it does a really good job of conveying what I'm trying to let you know when I say compare this with your fixed elements. So if you were to compare Mascarpone with your beige carpets and they're on the medium side, and Benjamin Moore Mascarpone looks clean and your carpets look muted, then chances are it's going to make that carpet look old and outdated. And this is why it's so important to compare Mascarpone with the fixed elements that you may have in your home. For those of you that found this video helpful, please put a like, let me know. Until then, I will see you in the next video.